Hello friends, my name is Emile, and welcome back to some more Need for Speed 2015. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 15, and in today's episode, I think we'll celebrate episode 15 by going back to one of our original cars. We're actually going to be driving around in our NA MX-5. Now, as you know, this thing is, in my opinion, probably the best drift car in the game. Certainly my favourite to drive, and, well, we haven't really visited this car for a while. Sure, we've put a few upgrades on it here and there, but we haven't really played around with it all that much. However, today, I figured we would. Yeah, I'll have that Master Speed diffuser, didn't even know that was in the game. And I will also stick a carbon tip exhaust on this thing. I appreciate for some people this might not be their particular preference when it comes to what I do with the MX-5, but the MX-5 is sort of one of my little projects, so yeah. Also, do I prefer those? Nah, I think I'll... Ooh, that's apparently... Oh, right, there we go. I thought I'd made it a bit finicky. Also, yeah, we do have the hardtop modification. So, yeah, one quick change between this episode and the previous episodes is this episode doesn't actually have the stream in the background. My internet's being a bit fucky, despite the fact that apparently I'm getting... how much down am I getting? I believe I'm getting... 12 down and 9 up. Apparently I can't stream at even 1.5 megabits a second, so yeah, unfortunately no stream today, but that means you've just got me. Whether that's a good or a bad thing depends on your personal preference with me, although to be fair, having the stream doesn't really make all that much difference. It just means I won't be reading out funny comments. Anyways, we are going to do some quick modifications to the MX-5 just to make it a little bit quicker, because it's been a while since we've driven this car, so it hasn't got many upgrades on it. Yeah, I'll have that. Don't really need too much power going through this. Fuel system, I am going to upgrade that though. 3.67 seconds to 60 seems decent to me. I'm going to upgrade the ECU. Camshafts isn't really worth it. Neither's that particularly. I will go for the manifold, and I think I'll call it at that. I'm not going to touch the setup of this car either, because I had it set up pretty much perfectly. I'm just going to quickly sort that out. There we go, so I can actually see how long I've been recording for, because the Elgato keeps going into widescreen if you try and... It's weird. I don't like the way the Elgato software works. It goes into widescreen when you don't want it to, and then it doesn't when you don't. So, yeah. That's a fun little thing. Also, there are a few differences to this car. You might notice there's some Master Speed vinyls on it. And also, it's worth mentioning, I've also sold the S15 from the previous episode. So anyways, we have a block party to do. So let's go ahead and do that. We will do the drift events. We might even finish the drift events off in this particular episode within the MX-5. That would be pretty cool if I can finish the drift events in the MX-5, of course. It's the first real drift car we had, so it would be only right to finish the drift events with this particular vehicle. Anyways, we've got a bit of a gymkhana to do. From what I remember, this is one of my more favourite episodes. Oh, sorry, this is one of my more favourite tracks to actually go ahead and boost. Also, apparently I'm against myself. Don't quite know. Well, I do know how that works. I'm playing on a separate account for this Let's Play, just because it was easier than resetting my progress for the 6th time. I played through this game quite a lot, because I actually don't hate the story mode of this game. I hate it in the sense that you always think something's going to happen and it never does. But I like it in... I actually like the idea of the story. I like the leveling up and earning parts and progressing through the vehicles. I kind of like doing that, and also it's just a cheap, occasionally fun game to play through. Apparently there is a Forza driver task stuck in the wall there. Apparently I can't make that jump either. I'm a bit rusty. I haven't played this game in... actually, we haven't played this game for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I think those last episodes that you see going up were recorded way before Christmas. Or maybe they were... I can't remember. They were recorded a while ago, though. They were certainly recorded before the new year. This charger's going to try and block me in, because of course that will make everything so much better. I might actually need to adjust the setup of this MX-5 a little bit more. I think it's set up for more sort of low horsepower drifting. It's not getting quite the slide on that I'd want it to. Maybe, I think increasing the steering sensitivity on this thing might be the way to go. But once it holds the slide pretty well, I think what I'll probably do with it is increase the sensitivity and reduce the actual steering angle, because yeah, it's sliding, it's not getting quite the smoothness that I would usually expect from an NA. Of course, it's still absolutely phenomenal to drift around because, well, it's the NA MX-5 in this. Or actually, to be fair, the ND is also absolutely swell in this game, I should say. Probably going to use the ND MX-5 at some point if I remember to, anyways. We're not looking too bad. If that Crown Vic wouldn't have done that. We're not looking too bad. What have we got? 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 2.8 miles to go. Might have to speed up through a few little sections, but I don't think we'll miss out on anything majorly wrong. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Right. Come on. I'm not sure actually what Gymkhana event this is. I don't know if this is sort of the one take, make your own Gymkhana, or if this is like, I don't know. I can't remember how far we are in the game. But I will say for this event that it would have been kind of nice with these Gymkhana events, especially like supposedly these filmed ones with all the cameras. It would have actually been nice if they'd you know, programmed camera cars into the game that just sort of either follow you around or are sat up on roadsides and stuff. I don't know why they didn't bother doing that. Also, apparently I thought I swerved out the way of that van, but you know what this game's like with its slightly fucky handling. Just like my slightly fucky internet. Anyways, I don't think we're quite going to beat my personal best on this. Actually, we've got a mile. A mile to do 20,000 points, essentially. Good, that counted. Well, if that didn't count, then yeah, I would have said game over there, but we seem to be doing alright through here. Yeah, I think we might actually kill my record here, which is fine by me, because it gives this account more money, and more money on this account means more stuff you can see in the Let's Play. And then if I ever play this game on my main account, I could go ahead and smash this record, and then the cycle continues, really. Although, of course, I won't be doing another Let's Play on this game. 240Z, don't do that. Alright, now we just got a quick sprint to the finish, and across the line. There we go, cool. So, we did beat that auto log recommendation. That does mean we get $14,000. And I believe we'll get some for, yep, the daily challenge as well was also to do the same thing.
It's in the can, baby. You know it. I'm putting this up right away, bro. Got no time to waste. I'll see you back at the bunker.
Okay. Can't wait to see Spike's face. Oh yeah, we still have to hit 200 miles per hour in a car. I can't do it in the Evo because the Evo hasn't got enough speed. So, I guess we meet Manu at the bunker and continue on the drift path. Because everyone else wants me to race, and it's like, no, I don't want to race. Can't remember, but in the last episode, I think I raced against the Outlaw guys, from what I remember, so... Yeah, didn't really do any drift events in the last episode, I don't think, with the S15, so... Anyways, we have a cutscene.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Some people I want you to meet.
Hey.
What's up? I'm Vaughn.
What's up? I'm Ken. Nice job.
So, these guys really caught your eye?
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's amazing to have you in town.
Well, thank you, but what's next?
Well, there's this great taco truck on 6. They make these little shrimps.
Spot is amazing.
I don't think Ken's in town to eat tacos.
Yeah. I mean, I like tacos and all, but I got my team, some cars in town.
Okay.
I'd rather have a little fun than eat tacos.
Right.
You in?
Hey, don't be joking, man. I have a delicate constitution, you know?
No, I'm serious. Are you in?
Oh, man. Hey, we in.
All right, so here's the plan. We scout, we practice, we hone. Then shrimp tacos.
Loving those priorities.
Yeah!
Let's do this.
You ready to rock? Let's do it.
Yeah, I think my microphone, I turned it off for that. Yeah. I've sort of decided to turn those cutscenes up while I'm not streaming. As people were complaining they couldn't hear them. Or in the streams at least. I don't know about you guys at home, maybe they were fine for you, but yeah, that's a racing circuit. So I guess we're just waiting for a call from Manny, or Manu, and he's going to tell us. Before we do that though, we are just going to take a quick look on how far we are through the game. So style is 81% done, so we're pretty much almost done with style. Crew and outlaw are the ones we are lacking at the moment, but that's no real big surprise. I can't remember what the outlaw one at the moment is. I think it's something about getting a 5 grand pursuit. We'll sort that out in one of the next episodes. I think the episode after this one's probably going to be trying to build a 200-mile-per-hour car. Because we should have the funds for it after this. We are just waiting for a call, I guess. Hopefully that comes through some point soon. Alternatively, I may just have to do a race or something. Usually I have stuff to do in these episodes, but today apparently not. Let's just drift around here. And there we go, lovely jubbly. I'll tell you what, I'm going to chance it. Let's do a quick Eddie Street race while we are here, because, to be fair, if they're not calling me, I may as well go ahead and do another mission. So, Heat 4, punch it. Alright, let's do that. Let's see what cars we are going to be up against in the MX-5. We've got a Camaro. Oh, there's Manu, of course. Oh. Yeah. Lovely. Oh, fuck. Head-to-head drifting with the Hoonigan crew. I mean, it doesn't particularly bother me. I'm not a hoonigan, quote-unquote. But yeah. Apparently we probably get our arse kicked at this street race, I'd imagine. In fact, I'm not even going to bother with this. I'll do that later. Because there. Anyways, let's go and do the proper. So we got 2 more events. So I'm assuming these are the last 2 events for these guys. Alright, I think there's 2 events and then there's 1 more after this. So yeah, we'll get these done in this episode. I'm maxing my grip for tight turns. Yeah, that won't happen. I like it how front wheel drive is apparently, or front wheel is 1 word on this for some reason. I don't know why. It just is. There we go. It's the MX-5 crew versus Kenneth for Block in... Oh, apparently he's spawned over there. Oh, typical Need for Speed 2015 for you then. Also, this is a time trial, not a drift event. Nice. I too love that. Because apparently hooning is... No, can't... Oh, it's actually just a time trial, so we don't even have to really worry about where we are in this actual particular race itself. We're just sort of doing this. So yeah, I think it might be a sprint race. There's a drift trial or something up in the hills, and then it's on to the final thing, which is basically both of these courses attached together. If I've got that right, I think that's the way the drift storyline works. We don't really get much for finishing the style storyline, but you know, may as well do it. So one of the things I kind of like about this game is the fact that they had these sort of split-off storylines, and you can choose which one you wanted to attack the most. I think the one I focused on in my first playthrough was sort of build, because build's the best one to have because you unlock car parts from doing build. Also, naturally, build is the longest and also probably the most difficult of the paths to follow. But yeah, for me personally, that's the one I went for. I also went for style because the drift events are kind of fun. You know, the actual street racing itself is a bit, the less we say about that, the better, but these actual proper drift events are kind of fun. Or not these ones, because I'm doing a time trial, but you know what I mean. As Manu gets sideways with his MX-5, I'll get sideways with mine. Let's push you out of the way, and across the line. Alright, cool. I'll take 12 grand. It wasn't a particularly difficult challenge. This MX-5 hasn't got much power. I believe we're not even pushing 400 horsepower. In fact, we might even be not that far off doing 350, so... Anyways. Oh, I don't care. I don't want to be part of that. Fuck off. So, yeah. I think we've got this one, and then there's one final run in the hills, so... Bit of a sneeze there. It's alright. I was going to mute the microphone, but didn't really have time to. Alright, let's do this. We're well to Clare. I think that is Clare? Clar? I don't know. Alright, let's do it. Hopefully this is an actual drift event. It is indeed. It's a drift trial. So that's fine by me. That's my favourite of the drift events because, well, actually, I like Gymkhana. I like the Gymkhana and the drift trials. I hate the other two. So the Toge is the worst one. And then drift... Is it drift... Actually, no. Toge is the better of the two. And then the drift train is where you have to be within a certain sort of distance from everyone, and that's either really infuriating because you're too far back, or really not, or like really infuriating because you're too fast for everyone else. It's really fucky. I do not like those particular events, but yeah, the drift trial is well, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically a time trial, but instead of timing yourself, you're drifting, which is, you know, who would have thought of that? I don't know. Anyways, there's all sorts of drivers driving around here. I should really go back into the private, sort of the private lobbies, but yeah, haven't really got around to putting myself back into those. So yeah, I definitely need to do that though, because just the chaos that goes on in these public lobbies, it can get a little bit insane in the membrane. I'm also might move that Mazda Speed logo on the wing. Just down a little bit. It looked fine to me before I left the garage, but now I'm not sure whether to have a really big one stretched across the back or just that sort of little one on the lip spoiler. Not that it really matters, because we probably won't be driving the MX-5 too much after this, just because I won't really need it anymore if we complete the style section of the game in this particular episode. So yeah, won't need the MX-5 anymore. I do like having this car though. I really kind of like the way it's modified. I like the little light covers. I know they're not going to be to everyone's taste, but for me personally, I do kind of like them, just because it adds a bit of individuality from every other MX-5. I also love the wide body flares on this thing, just because they're so big and mahoosive. I'm not a huge wide body guy, you know. I'm not a fan of your rocket liberties and your bunny kits and all the rest of it. But yeah, I do kind of like sort of the wide body fender. It depends on what car they're on ultimately. If it's like a Mark 1 Escort, then hell yeah, because rally car. But yeah, if you're putting them on your VW Polo, then maybe they're not so cool. And we're sort of going to understeer into a lamppost there, because NFS 2015. I can't really blame all of my driving issues on NFS 2015, however I can blame most of them, so that's why I do that. As we go through the tunnel, we are wrapping up this event in a minute. Big ass Ford F-150 is just going to get all up in my grill. I think that's an F-150 anyway, it's gone, whatever it was. I'm not sure if it's an F-150 or an F-250, they're all essentially the same thing. So, except one's bigger than the other because America. Oh, America. Oh, big trucks. Or something like that. Anyways, we absolutely smashed the drift trial thing. Yes, I'm fairly certain my arrow isn't on upside down, otherwise that would be a bad thing. Right, so I'm assuming we have one more event to do with Kenneth of the Block. I'm imagining we'll get a phone call about that shortly. As I spin the tires on this thing. There we go.
Hey, dude, just got the call. This is it. Ultimate Shred.
Ultimate Shred. Yep, here we go. Also, what the hell is that? Is that like a...
Hands there already. I'm rolling up soon. See you there, bro.
Check your lifestyle, choose us. Oh, it's a bank advert with a Lamborghini on it. Do those exist? Like, is there actual, like, bank adverts with, like, supercars on them and stuff? Like, is that a normal thing or something? Because I've never seen them, and personally, if I saw one, I'd think the bank is dodgy. Maybe that's just me, though, but I remember them in, like, GTA games and stuff. Speaking of which, I should really let's play a GTA game at some point. I was planning on doing GTA 4 before I started doing... Oh, God, what did I do instead? This was a while ago. I was doing GTA 4, but it never really came to fruition. Like, the episodes were fine. It's just I was wondering about various complications with it, and I decided I'd sort of do it when I'm a little bit more experienced at the Let's Plays. Because as you can probably tell by this episode, I don't know, I can be either very good with these things or very terrible. And apparently this episode I've decided to not be particularly amazing. I have no idea where Manu is. I don't know if he's just decided not to appear. Also, there is an achievement for this particular shred. If you can get, I think it's 375 grand in the Unicorn, you can get an achievement. It's a pretty darn difficult affair to pull off, just because the Unicorns, you can't tune it, so, like, get out of my way. So, like, with this MX-5, for example, I know exactly, well, I know roughly what it's supposed to be doing. You know, it can slide really well, you tap the brake and then it'll start sort of sliding. With the Unicorn, you know, you don't really get a chance to tune it, so you've got to gain a feel for a car someone else has tuned, and that feels very weird. And to be quite honest, it doesn't feel the best. We are getting some nice angles, though. To be fair, removing Kevin Block actually was... Admittedly, it was an accident, but it actually has played off more in our favour, just because it gets him out of the way. And unfortunately, he does kind of get in the way a fair bit, so if I can sort of destroy him and move him off, then, you know, we should be pretty decent. A little bit of sliding there, lovely jubbly. Oop. Kenneth Block will catch up now, thanks to that slight cock-up I made. Don't usually go through the car park, because you can actually earn more points if you just drift downwards, but I kind of forgot about that, because I'm a bit of a moron occasionally. Thanks, Ken. Really appreciated that a nice bit of fender bender action you are trying to give my poor little MX-5. He's got 850 horsepower in his Unicorn. I have 300 and something. A low amount of horsepower comparatively. There, can't speak. There we go, lovely. Right, little bit of a slide that way, little bit of a slide this way. Pull the handbrake a little bit, just so you can get yourself around those corners a little bit easier. Yep, there you go. Usually it will drift on command, but there apparently the game decided it's going to grip on for dear life. For some reason, not really sure why. And again, alright, let's rag the handbrake, see if that helps it. Indeed, I think it does. Alright, there we go. One thing I do like about in this game, and especially over Horizon 3, is the fact the checkpoints actually have a pretty wide sort of level of how... They have a pretty wide level of tolerance, there you go, and the ones in Horizon 3 really just do not have that level of tolerance. You know, you can run into those, or you can like run kind of in them, but just outside them, and sometimes they won't count, and sometimes they will. Horizon's really weird. Admittedly, NFS 2015 is also a bit weird with its sort of checkpoint system. Like, you can drive straight through checkpoints sometimes, and it just won't count. Also, I've just looked at the time. 2 minutes 30, 3 miles to go. It doesn't fill me with the utmost of confidence. We are going to have to get a wee bit of a shifty on. And this was the other issue with the Unicorn achievement. The Unicorn's quick, but the Unicorn isn't, you know, it isn't fast enough to make up for some of the time that you do lose with just trying to hold angle. And admittedly, I've been sort of paying too much attention to holding angle over actually doing said gymkhana. Anyways, we are going to get some straight line speed sections, so let's use those to our advantage. Should have maybe upgraded the nitrous oxide in this thing because it hasn't got all that much of it. I believe there's only like a £5 bottle in here, and the most you can get is 15, so... Although I'm not sure if we have £15 nitrous unlocked yet. £1.80, 1.8 miles, 1.5 minutes. It is certainly possible. Just trying to get this thing to sort of handle like a normal car though, and not crash into everything. Or for me not to crash into anything. I can't quite tell who to blame on that one. That definitely didn't help though. Alright, there we go. Pick up the pace. 1 minute, 1.2 miles. We should, in theory, be fine. In actuality, I'm not sure. We've got this bit to do at the moment, though. There is a player in front of me. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't try to pull any funny shenanigans. Indeed, he doesn't. Right. 40 seconds, 0.8 miles. God damn it. Come on, car. Let's pick that pace up. Oh, fuck. Come on, come on, come on. Reset the car. How much time's that lost us? Ugh. We aren't gonna do it. We are not gonna do it. Come on! Did we do it? Oh, you fucking cunt. Fuck you too then. Well... yeah, fuck off. I don't want to listen to your fucking cunt's arse. Well, that sucks. But we're not going to be attempting that again in this episode. We're just going to put the MX-5 to death now because, well, it's probably been killed. Anyways, friends, thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and the next episode we're actually going to do something that won't fuck me over, so join me for that. Anyways, thank you all. You had that. Goodbye. Good night. Farewell.